Hello, this is Leo Castro with the School of Magic of Love, and today we are starting our first workshop, which is called Universal Laws in Our Daily Living. I know that you are going to love this workshop because it is going to give you answers to a lot of questions. So I would like to begin with the following. Listen, the main characteristic of the universe is abundance. And if we have not been able to find inner and external satisfaction in our life, it is simply because we haven't learned to do it. So as we also continue on the path of how to free our minds from our mental limitations and how to enter the perfect order of the universe, we are also going to have a lot of satisfaction in our lives. And that is precisely what we expect for every one of us to find when we discover the law, when we discover how to recognize it and obey it as something that can guide us in the universe, which is of course a perfect design that I know that we sometimes just don't understand. So if we make a short comparison within the laws of men and the laws of the universe, we can find that one of the main characteristics of the laws of the universe is that they are normative. While the laws of the universe are similar to the laws of physics. Why is this? Because the laws of physics can be measured, can be verified, and can be determined. And every time we apply a law of physics, we are going to have the same outcome. The laws of the universe also can be verified and can be measured and can be determined. That is why the laws of the universe are some principles that rule the processes of administration, of creation, and of everything that happens in the universe. It is very important for us to understand that in the universe nothing happens because of coincidence. There is no happenstance, there is no good or evil, there is no one to blame for, there is no punishment, there is no good or bad luck. Of course, this is very hard for us to understand because of everything we have learned by culture. And this is precisely where our conflict begins within the laws of the universe and all that we have learned by culture. Why is this? Because our minds are full of so many ideas, so many beliefs, and so many concepts that go against the principles of the universe. As I said before, everything that happens in the universe is governed by laws that can be measured, can be determined, and can be verified. That is why I invite you not to believe in the law, but to verify the presence of the law at every moment in your lives. I also invite you not to believe in anything, and most of all, don't believe in this information that I am teaching you. What is truly important is that you learn to verify the presence of the law in your own experience so that you can see that the law is real. That is why I am not only going to give you this information, but I am also going to leave you some exercises so that you can verify the presence of the law. So I will also like to continue with something very important, and this is one of the principles of the laws of the universe, and is that everything that happens is within the law. Please remember this. Everything that happens is within the law. If we understand that everything is within the law, then this is going to lead us to something very important, and it is that nothing can happen outside the law. I know what you may be thinking, and I know the question you are having on your minds. Diego, how can it be within the law aggression, violence, disrespect, intolerance, egoism, or hatred, or many things we don't like or accept in the universe? Well, unless we can understand something called the process of the evolution, this question is not going to have an answer. Also, as we go deeper in this knowledge, we are going to understand that behind everything that happens, no matter how pleasant or unpleasant it is, there is a perfect purpose of love. Of course, when we don't know this purpose, we want to fight or go against something that has a perfect order. So, why is this? Because our minds, as I told you before, are full of concepts, ideas, and beliefs, and we call all these concepts, ideas, and beliefs our learned mental limitations. But for now, it is very important that you learn to accept that everything that happens is within the law, regardless of whether we like it or not, we accept it or not, of if they are pleasant or unpleasant. Nothing can happen outside the law. Do you know why? Because if something would happen outside the law, the universe would fall apart, it would disorganize, it would end. There is a reason for everything that happens in the universe. When we are able to understand and to accept this, we are going to free our minds from a lot of inner conflicts and from a lot of suffering. So, for this workshop, we have the following themes. The first thing that we are going to study is, of course, the law. And we are also going to define or redefine a lot of terms that we have learned to refer to God, to masters, to universe, and many other aspects of our lives as human beings that are not well defined or understood, or that we have assigned characteristics that they just don't have. So, once we have defined what is the law, we are going to the second theme, which is, or what we call, the codified memories of the law, which means where has God written the laws? The laws of men, we can find them in books, in constitutions, and in codes. But what do you think God has written the laws? Maybe in stones, constitutions, books. Well, that is precisely what we need to learn to read. We need to learn to read the order of the universe. It is not hard to learn to recognize the codes. And this is what we call the codified memories of the law, which means we're actually written the laws of the universe, and where is it that we can read those codes? In the third theme, we are going to study the fundamental laws. We are going to make a description of what's the function of each law one by one, what is their hierarchy, and how they act. In the fourth theme, we are going to talk about the processes of interaction of the laws and how in that interaction they generate a lot of different processes in the world that rule everything that happens and exists. In the fifth theme, we are going to study the recognition of the effect of the law. And here is where I would like you to verify the effect of the law in your own experience, in your own life. What happens, for instance, when we go against the law? Or what happens when we flow with the law? And we are going to recognize it as concrete results in our lives. Those results are happening at this very moment in our own lives. What happens, of course, is that many times we don't know why we have some results in our lives. Something happens and we just don't know why. And why also, how can we prevent those things from happening? Well, that is what we need to learn, and that is what we need to study also. In the sixth thing, we are going to study the processes that the law uses so that the processes of the universe are fulfilled, so that everything in the universe works perfectly, that the purpose of the divinity and the purpose of the perfect order are fulfilled. And in the last thing, we are going to talk about something that is called the law in the end of times. We are also going to explain what does it mean, the end of times, and how the law rules the end of cycles. So this was just a short introduction to our first workshop. I hope to see you in the next video. If you like it, put like on it. If you have any questions, please write them down below. Maybe later or in the future we can make a video where we can answer all of your questions. In the next video we are going to start to explain each law. I hope you like it. and I hope to see you in the next opportunity. Goodbye.